Randy Brown, good to see you on the red carpet. Who designed your outfit tonight? What are you going with tonight?
Just me, it's just me. I just put it together.
Typical look, but how nice is it to be at the Hall of Fame tonight? That was a memorable fight between Adesanya and Gastelum. What do you remember about that fight? Where were you when you watched that?
I was home. I think I was home when I watched it. That fight for me was super impressive. The moments, they're not only because of the fight itself, but like I was saying before, there were moments, there were small moments from not only the resilience from this guy, but the moment where Adesanya was kind of talking to himself and it's in between rounds in his native language or whatever, and there was points where he was kind of like, I'm prepared to die, and because there's fighters, we all go through, there's moments where we're talking to ourselves, you know what I mean? Because again, that voice creeps up on you, and it's hard to explain to you guys who don't really do it, but when you're in there, that voice pops up, and it could be negative and it could be positive, but a lot of times it is negative, and you got to fight that. And what he did, the moment, him showing us that moment and having us experience it with him was dope as hell to me. So him standing there and talking to himself and saying, listen, I'm prepared to die tonight, that took the cake for me.
You're coming off a big win in your last fight. I'm sure a big opponent is in mind next. When would you like to get back in there as far as your next fight?
I would love October, man. There's so many different guys I'd love to fight. I know that I'm fighting in the rankings next, so guys, it's moving. It's moving. The division is moving. So for me, I like Jeff Neal. I think that's a great fight. I also think that Gilbert Burns is another great fight for me. So there's so much opportunities right now in the division, and I think there's a lot of opportunities for myself.
And just last one for me, you said October. There's a couple cards there. There's that Vancouver card. You want to come out to the West Coast and.
You want me to beat up on your boy so bad, huh?
Who's my boy?
What's his name? The Canadian. Every time I talk to you, you tell me you're like, oh, that'll be a great fight. Why you want him to lose?
What's that? No,
why you want him to lose?
Hey, you're doing the match, man. I'm talking about Vancouver being a nice city, man. I don't know why you're
I'm just messing with you.
That's what I'm talking about there. But so Jeff Neal, though, Mike's not ranked, so Jeff is ranked yourself.
Yes.
So, it's a polite call.
I know we watch fights like the Gastelum and Izzy fight.
Yeah.
We watch it and we think, oh man, this is great. This is something spectacular. You as fighters, you that are along as the peers, when you guys are watching fights like that, do you make that same sort of recognition, or do you guys just like, man, that was a good fight, but I might do a better fight myself? Or can you guys notice those moments as we as spectators?
We notice so much more than the average fan. We notice a lot of stuff. There'll be small things that you guys don't experience that we do experience, like a moment like literally just like him speaking to himself and saying, hey, I'm prepared to die. For a lot of people that was just a moment of him talking, but for us as fighters, we felt that because that's something that those voices that I was speaking about before, they're real. It's a real thing, you know what I mean? So him showing that to the world, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So there's so many different moments that you see in fights that a lot of people don't get to see. And you can even see a fighter break. That sometimes it's not as obvious to the fans, but the fighters we know where it's headed. So I think that was cool.
And here we are. You're walking the red carpet. You're here as a guest fighter. We're here talking about somebody else's fight. Is there a point that you dream, that you think about, that would be cool to hear us asking you about your fight that you're in the Hall of Fame?
100%. You need one. You need one fight, but you need that person to also challenge you to bring you to that point. So I'm just waiting for that guy, to kind of bring me to that point, and I'll meet him halfway and we'll see how it goes.
I know it was mentioned earlier, but the style and everything like that, where do you feel like you get that inspiration from? Because I see the thought, I see the name, Jack Hoffman. Where do you get that inspiration?
It's just what I do, man. That's just what I do. It's like, I don't know. I just felt like it looked good. I put it together, and that's it.
Do you feel like you have a stylist one day, or do you feel like, I got it?
I don't need no stylist, bro. I really don't need no stylist. I know a lot of people probably thought I have a stylist, but the socials, they know. They see me when I show up every fight week and all this is what I do.
Now going back into the we're here to celebrate greatness. When you look back at your career right now, is there a moment that stands out to you as your favorite career?
My most recent win is probably something that maybe because it's so recent. I thought that was a cool moment that I was able to kind of just fight fire with fire and get the job done. But for me, still a good moment for me was when I fought Jared Gooden and I broke my toe, and I was, I just showed, that I can face that adversity and kind of still be able to continue to fight and win. My toe was mangled. I relocated it 20-something times throughout the fight, and still got the job done. 100%, because the way the Bryan Battle fight went, I personally thought I won. A lot of people, others thought I won. The company thought I won, but you can't leave it in the hands of the judges. That's just what it is. And that fight with Dalby was a moment to just remind people that I'm still here, I'm still hungry, and I'm still very dangerous, and I belong in the top of the division, with the best in the world. Like a rematch or something? Me and Jack. I think me and Jack can get that back one day. One day. It's funny, on my socials, I just posted a face-off of being protest. So people seem to like that. But one day, me and Jack will get it back one day. I think that'll be a good one.
Randy, you proud of had that spectacular walk-off last fight. How much is that putting into how you go back into training? Allow yourself to kind of take that in as a moment and move on to the next thing?
For me, you got to compartmentalize, right? You got to be good at compartmentalizing and put what needs to be put where it is, and kind of focus on what needs to be focused on. And for me, it's just another moment. You fight. We live to create these moments as fighters, as martial artists. This is what it's all about: creating moments that are going to be memorable. And for me, I created the moment. I'm going to remember it forever. I'm going to revisit it, but the job's not done, so I have to continue to just train and do what I need to do.
Just one more for me. Starting from just retired.
Yeah, I saw that.
That athletic community is so tight on the island, especially with those track stars. What are your memories of her coming up, especially those big events?
Man, domination. Just straight domination. Those are some of my biggest memories of her. Even my most recent memory of her is bringing her kids to sports day. I don't know if you guys know what sports day is. In Jamaica, every school, every year we have a thing called sports day, where the parents come and the kids run. You have to run. Everyone runs track growing up. And she took no mercy, man. No mercy on the parents. She ran with everybody and she dusted them full speed. And I was like, damn, imagine going to your kid's sports day and you got to run, and you see Shelly and Frazier, a legend, line up next to you. That's probably pretty cool,
And you won for me. Another Jamaican, Aljamain Sterling. He just had a big fight announced against Brian Ortega in Shanghai. What are your thoughts about that fight?
You don't know, you hard man, I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna deal with it. So I'm going with Aljo to get it done. Regardless of anything, I gotta back Aljo.
And speaking of Aljo, what do you make of his Punk Harbor Rum promotion? Because he's turning into one of the best promoters in the game.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cool to see a fighter try to think about their life after fighting. You know what I mean? And kind of create, because ultimately that's what we're here to be, legends and create these moments and grow and leave an impact on the sport, right? But at the end of the day, this is a small moment for us in our lives. So after fighting, there's going to be a lot, after fighting. So it's good to see fighters, do what they need to do to kind of set themselves up, and it's admirable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What are you trying to create after?
For me, I got a lot going on. I own several businesses, abroad. I'm going to start a fight promotion. It's called RBFL, Rude Boy Fight League. So we got a lot working on. A lot of things we're working on. So.
Last week, when you have those moments of success, what you're looking forward to, looking back at your younger self, what would you say to him?
What was that?
What would you say to your younger self now?
Stay the course. Stay the course and continue to give it your whole heart. Don't give it half. Don't give it a quarter. Just give it everything you have and continue to do that, and it'll all work out. Good. All right. Thank you.